For the purpose of this tutorial, we're only going to be concentrating on the neckline for this outfit. So I have my fabric here and it's on fold of 4, and this is because I'm actually making use of it to make an outfit for my client, and that's my start line at the top there. So here I'm going to be taking my neck width measurement of 4 inches, and then the neck depth for the back only will be 1 inch, and the neck depth for the front I'm making use of 9 inches. So I'll just connect the neckline for the back. So please feel free to determine what neckline and neck depth measurements you want to make use of. Now from this point at the bottom, I'm going to be coming in by, from this point here, I'm going to be coming in by half of an inch. Okay, I'll be coming in by half of an inch, and then I'll make a mark here, and I'll just connect it from this point all the way to the neck width at the top using a straight line. And after doing this, I'll create my shoulder slope. I think I just took about 1 inch off there, and I'll just cut this out. So now I'm taking out, we're done with the neckline. I'll just take out one piece of the fabric because I want to be working on the neckline for the front. Okay. So now I'll just proceed to cutting out the neckline for the front this way, just half of an inch, and then I'll take it all the way to meet the neck width of 4 inches. So now I'm done with that. And when you open this up, this is actually looking different from the normal V neckline that we're all familiar with. So this is what it should look like. I'll get the other side of my fabric and join them right sides facing each other and hold them at the shoulder line using half of an inch before we work on the neckline. So I'm done joining the neckline, notch your center back, and then after this, just measure out what you have from this point here all the way to the top, all the way round it, and all the way to the bottom. Whatever you have, just add a few inches to it so that whatever color length you're working on will be very long. So this is the piece of color I'm working on, and yeah, I fused it. This is actually 5 inches, should be 5 inches. So I'll measure the other side so that it's the same thing. So unfold is 2.5 inches. Opening this up, this is 5 inches. So determine what you want to work with. So I'm going to fold this now, and then I will notch the center point of it so that when I'm attaching it, I'll attach it notched part to notched part. So this is the front side of my fabric, okay? And then I'll match the notch parts together and hold it down with a pin, and I'll just proceed to pinning this round all around my actual fabric. And after pinning this down, this is what I have. Now the next thing to do is we'll take to the sewing machine to stitch all the way around, attaching both fabrics together using half of an inch. However, from this point, just come down. So this is the actual point. Just come down half of an inch from that first chalk mark. Okay, come down half of an inch, and this is where we'll start to stitch down. So I'm doing the same thing there. Come down half of an inch, which is that, and from here I'll take this to the sewing machine and stitch round this neckline using half of an inch. And after stitching, this is what I have. So I'm lifting this up now because I want to create a notch, a diagonal notch all the way to the point where I stopped stitching. So when you're creating your notch, make sure you don't exceed where you stopped stitching so that you don't have any problems when you're flipping it over, or when you have to sew that part. So I'm also creating the same notch on this point here. And after doing that, I will just flip this over to the wrong side. So this is the notch, this is what we have. I'm just going to flip this over now to the wrong side, and I'll turn my fabric so that we'll see what we're working on. On the wrong side, this is what it looks like. Please make sure that the little piece of fabric that we notch is facing towards the back of my fabric. So align your collars properly. Make use of your pins to hold them in place. So I'm going to make use of my pin now to hold this part in place to the neckline. Now I'll take this to sewing machine and then I'll start to stitch at exactly this point here where I'm indicating at. From this point, I'll run a stitch all the way to this point where my notch stopped. Please make sure you don't exceed it. And this is what it looks like after we've stitched it down. I'm just going to trim this off now so that it's not too bulky. And of course, I'm going to still weave all of these loose ends so that it has a very neat finishing. And then I'm now just going to turn this over, flip this outfit over to the right side so that we see what it looks like. And this is our V neckline scrub effect. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you found this tutorial useful. Till my next video, do have a good one. Bye.